Tonight, parliamentary voting stops the preemptive use of provincial powers. Liberals, New Democrats, and the Green Party pave way for debates on the use of Notwithstanding clause. And France is experiencing a brain drain. Muslims working in white-collar jobs move to other countries. They cite discrimination and Islamophobia as the reasons. First Muslim and Pakistani to join Kingston Council.
Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with this success and have given me the privilege and honor to representing my community, the Muslim community and Pakistani community in the higher level in the community at large.
Councillor Jimmy Hassan shares his experiences and aspirations with Dr. Catherine Bullock. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I am Rizwan Ahmed. A motion to allow provinces to invoke preemptively the Notwithstanding clause in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms has failed in Parliament. The motion, which was put forward by the Bloc Québécois, saw 170 votes against from the Liberals, New Democrats, and the Green Party. The Bloc and Conservatives voted in favour of the motion, gathering 142 votes. The Notwithstanding clause allows governments to override sections of the Charter. To invoke it preemptively means that the courts cannot be used to strike down a bill that overrides charter rights, as does Bill 21 in Quebec. Police were called to Nugget Mosque in Scarborough, Ontario, during Friday prayers when a Jewish man with a sword threatened to attack the congregation. The man had been visiting the mosque for quite some time. He would carry a Torah and show disrespect towards the Quran. The mosque's management thought they had settled him down, having previously invited him inside for dialogue. They told him Muslims have to respect the Torah and the Bible. However, last Friday, he came to the mosque with a sword. Another sword was found inside his car. Last year in December, in the same mosque, an imam was attacked during morning prayers. Toronto City Council has debated its budget today amidst the shocking news that its mayor, John Tory, plans to resign. The City of Toronto faces unprecedented fiscal challenges, such as higher costs of borrowing, gas, and food. These will cost $100 million more. The city is still reeling from the effects of the pandemic. It relies on funding from the provincial governments. Tory has worked extensively on the budget. Despite announcing his resignation on Friday, he has decided to stay until the budget is finalized. Toronto faces challenges in the form of rising crime rates in the streets and public transportation. A study by a French professor from the University of Lille shows that educated Muslim employees are leaving France for opportunities in other countries, including the US, Canada, the UK, and Dubai. This is causing a huge brain drain in the second biggest economy in the Eurozone. Surveys reveal that 1,074 Muslims have left France. Out of these, 70% say they moved to avoid racism and hate incidents. 2/3 of them say they relocated to practice their religion freely. Islamophobia is a common factor in French society, which is home to Europe's largest Muslim population.
When Councillor Jimmy Hassan was elected to the Kingston, Ontario City Council this past October, he made two firsts: first Pakistani elected and first Muslim elected. To find out about his campaign and service on the council, he joins us now. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Kathy, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We know the life of the council is going to be extremely busy, so we appreciate this chance to talk to you. First of all, congratulations on these firsts and these milestones. Can you tell us what it was that made you decide to run for City Council?
City of Kingston is about 125,000-30,000 people. When I moved here back in 2003, when I bought my Pizza franchise here, and it was very few numbers of the Muslim community here. We do have Islamic Center since I moved. I think it's before than that. But I always, being a Canadian, is a privilege, it's an honor to be in the system where you can be whatever you want. So it is always, I want to be somebody to present my both community, Muslim and the Pakistani, at a higher level, and also engage my community into very important civic responsibility as a Canadian, because this is our country and we choose Canada or any other country to become our future country for ourselves and for our children and the grandchildren. And it is very important that we should get involved politically, socially, and integrate with the community at large to build our positive image as a Pakistani and as a ethnic community. So this is always I want to do something different than anybody else in this small city. And Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with this success and have given me the privilege and honor to representing my community, the Muslim community and Pakistani community in the higher level in the community at large.
The well-known author Murray Hogben, who lives just outside Kingston, has compiled an oral history of Muslims in Canada, and he goes that each chapter of the book goes like coast to coast from British Columbia right across. And the Kingston chapter says that the first Pakistani and the first Egyptian arrived in Kingston in the mid-1960s. And so now it's like 60 years later. I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but any idea why it would take 60 years to get a first Pakistani or a Muslim elected to council?
I will happy to share with you what I learned being a Canadian, and since I became immigrant, a Canadian migrated from my country, we have lack of interest. We leave our country for many different reasons, whether it's a political, social, economic. And when we come here, we get so much engaged in our personal life, in our personal success, and we don't think about it that is other opportunity where we, and it's other responsibility also where we can represent ourselves, our families, our community, whether it's a religious community or ethnic community. And I think Kingston has the same case. So when all those pioneers came here, they were so busy to settle down, and city was a purely white community, and it was no brown people. Even when I came here, it was very few people you can spot it. Now it's growing multicultural, but I think those pioneers have also done their role very well, and they paved the path for people like me and many behind me in the queue. And but my understanding and what I learned it is just lack of interest into this direction in the civic responsibility. Being from other country and for looking for a better life, I think that was the best opportunity for myself to do what they couldn't do it, but they paved the path for me. So I started walking on that path and followed the dreams of my own, and my idea to present my Muslim community and Pakistani community in the politics here in this city.
I don't know if you know this, but I did my master's degree at Queen's University in Kingston in 1991, and it's a very special place in my heart because it's where I got engaged, and I was an atheist at the time, so it was also the place where I began my journey to Islam. Over the years, I've been invited back to speak, and I remember one year that there were some student activists on campus who were concerned about Islamophobia at Queen's University and in the Kingston community as a wider community. I wonder if you encountered that. You mentioned that it's a very white city, and you mentioned that not being elected because the community wasn't necessarily interested, but maybe there had been somebody who tried to get involved but experienced anti-Muslim racism. Did you have any trouble on the campaign?
Kathy, I am very people's person, and I know the challenges and I know the issues, and I try to tackle it myself. Personally, you asked me personally. Since I have been living in Kingston, I have not witnessed anything such like that. I just try to do my role as a member of this community through my business, through my family, and my personal level. I am highly involved in the civic engagement and the social work in here in this community, especially working towards the fight for the homelessness and the poverty in this city. More I move forward, I think the door of opportunity is open every side I go. I did not witness anything. I did not see anything that if there's any challenge for me being a Muslim or being a Pakistani. I'm not saying that it's no issue. It might be some issues here and there. They're hidden. I believe that. But I think together, if we know what is our role should be, and we should, if we know our responsibility versus our right, I think we can tackle down that issue, that problem. But personally, like I said, I have not witnessed anything. The city is beautiful. The community is wonderful. And I have been welcomed many ways. I have been awarded a Distinguished Citizen Award, which was the last year. I have been given honorary diploma from the St. Lawrence College for my community work. I have been chosen a diversity employer award of the year. I have award for the community builder award. So you named it. But it is all, I believe, on individuals, how you take your role. And I have learned my responsibility along with my rights. And I practice parallelly both. I don't depend. I take action. I don't complain. I fight.
Well, congratulations on all those awards. And you mentioned then all those awards demonstrate that you're very actively involved in civic life. The Ontario municipal election that took place in October had very low numbers throughout the different municipalities across Ontario, and observers are quite concerned. I'll just read a couple of figures to you. 20% of people turned out to vote in Kitchener. And I think it was 30% in Kingston, which is down from 2018, and it was still low then, 41.3% voter turnout. When you get together with the other city councillors, do you talk about trying to mobilise the vote or engage the citizens more, or do you just have so much else to discuss in terms of managing homelessness and other issues facing the city?
Sorry, I missed the whole question. It was breaking.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So the question is,
The reception was not very good.
is your council trying to make the citizens more interested in municipal politics so that we don't have low turnouts like we saw in last year?
We are going to talk about it on a personal level, and it is the second time I noticed this. Back in 2004, I think it was the same ratio of turnout in the election, and that is motivated me. 14. 2014 was the same ratio, and that's what motivated me to get involved. On a personal level, I have been promoting the civic engagement at a higher level in the city. And I think as a citywide, we are going to make some changes and, trying to launch some programs, such as we going to have probably open up door for the high school students to spend their co-op hours and their volunteer hours with the councillor over the city government. So is the college. And we are also trying to collaborate to ask the college and the Queen that local students, they should come to work with us as a volunteer, as an internship. There are some program we are talking about it, but it's nothing have decided yet. But unfortunately, it is very sad that we are in the country where the freedom is everything and everybody enjoying it, but we are having less and less interest in the civic engagement, which is not good for the country. We're not going to head into the right direction in the future. We are going to have shortage of quality a young leader who can lead the country to the next level and compete the world as a strong and free Canada.
Well, I suppose those kinds of programs engaging the youth and the university people is a good idea. We wish you luck. We're out of time, but thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talking to you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do, please share, like, and subscribe. Stay safe and God bless.